Hello and welcome to Planology. This is the first episode on my YouTube channel, and my plan is to make quite a few more, but I thought I would just jump on and introduce you to myself and Planology. I will try not to make it too long, but I have so much stuff that I want to tell you. So let's get cracking. So, who am I? So my name's Linda. I'm a northerner. I'm originally from Oldham, which is in between Manchester and Leeds, and I've moved down south now, so I'm based in Dorset. I am a coaching psychologist and a PhD researcher at the University of East London. I am currently doing a PhD in psychology, researching how coaching psychology can support women with endometriosis. I've been obsessed with psychology since I was about 17 when I did my A-level in it, but before that I was obsessed with Cracker and Silent Witness and Waking the Dead and all those good shows. So I did a degree in psychology, and then I did a master's in forensic psychology. And at that point I got really poorly, so my career in psychology ended. But I worked in the mental health team back in Oldham as a mental health support worker, and I did that for 15 years from the age of 18. I really enjoyed that work, enjoyed the psychology, working with people with mental health issues, learned a lot of stuff about people, human behaviour. And then I moved down south and realised that I was missing psychology again. So I decided to do a master's in applied positive psychology and coaching psychology at the University of East London, and that's where my love of coaching psychology began. So I completed that a couple of years ago and then decided to do a PhD. I have just submitted my portfolio for chartership with the British Psychological Society as well, and I am EMCC accredited as a senior practitioner. So that's me. I also have a dog called Luna. She was meant to be a small staffy and now she's a huge mastiff. And yes, I am planner obsessed. Totally and utterly planner obsessed. So I want to talk to you about planning systems, planning and productivity stuff, because this isn't about me trying to teach you how to plan and giving you a system. It's about you learning about you and getting a system that fits you, because I'm sure that you all know planner hopping. You know, you set off with all really good intentions, you get a new planner, you're all excited, you spend hours setting it up, and then it just doesn't work, and then it's just really deflating, and then you have to try something different and different and different. And I don't know about you, I've just got a selection of books here that I've read over the years. This is, I'm sure you've all read this one, Getting Things Done by David Allen. And I do get a lot of information out of these books, and I love, like I said, the psychology of it. So I've never regretted reading any of these books, but you take what you need. So that's one. The good old bullet journal method, this big manual. Again, I got loads out of this, and I did try a bullet journal system. Not for me, really, for many reasons, and that will become clear as we go along. This one, the productivity project, nudge, that's a good one. The good old Atomic Habits. This one's really good, and it draws on a lot of evidence from psychology. I don't really know whether it references as much. This is a lot of psychological research in here. This one I read recently, Building a Second Brain, because doing a PhD, I feel like I need a second brain, and I'm not really a digital person. And then I read this one, Indistractable. That's just a selection because I don't know if you can see, but I've got 4 bookcases over there full of books. But I thought these ones might be ones that you were familiar with. So like I said, I don't regret reading any of them. They've given me some good tips, things to try, but not one of the systems actually works for me. And that is where Planology was built from. I decided to, instead of trying to go external and find a system outside, I used coaching psychology and everything that I've learned to look at me. And that then got me to thinking, is there a planner type? We all have a learning type. We all, sort of gravitate to a way that we learn. I like a really good mind map, and I'm a pen and paper person. I'm not somebody that can do my thinking online. So, and then you've got the way that we're presented with information. Do you need to be shown how to do it? Do you need to read the book? Do you need a manual with pictures? All of us are completely different. And an analogy that my yoga teacher said to me on Thursday was, even though we're all humans, we're all very different. So people have longer spines, longer arms, longer legs, and we can't compare ourselves. So why would we compare ourselves with our brain and our productivity system? And yeah, bullet journal might work for one person, but it won't work for the next one. And trying to fit into that system is really setting ourselves up for failure, not success. So my Planology system is all about, we take what we need, but we need to know ourselves first. And we kind of like a little experiment. So it's like a lab as well, let's try things out. And not see ourselves as a failure or having that shame about not filling books. And I'm sure, like me, I've got a cupboard full of notebooks. And there's that guilt of spending money on things and then you don't use them. So it's trying to get out of all that as well. So that's where my revelation came, that actually I think there are planner types, and I call them Planology profile types. And I think that if you can do the quiz, figure out where you are in the profile, in the quiz, then you start to build up an awareness of who you are, what you need. And I'm a thriver in the quiz, but that's because I know myself quite well now through my psychology and through the coaching psychology. You have to have coaching yourself. So I've done all the groundwork myself, and my planner system actually works for me. I still have a lot of notebooks and planners, but that's because that's what I want and that's what I thrive off. So it's not about putting limits on yourself of where you can and can't go. So I'll just show you some of the things. So put everything in a bucket. I've got my good old Van der Speck. I had my Malden Filofax that I used for quite a while. Again, I've tried loads of different methods of, different sections. This one I think was like 2021 or something. This one lasted for quite a while. This is just a Moterm. And I used, I ended up getting the weekly notebook from, was it Paper Test? But I also really liked the Sterling ink. But this system, the Traveller's Notebook system, it allows you to put your system, this system. You put what you need in it. So that was when I first started experimenting with things. I have a little mini passport thing that I tried, a really small motor, just a generic leather one. I've got a manager's notebook from Paper Test. That was more for my PhD. Then I've just got this really nice Galen leather, and that's just a blank notebook. I've tried the Stalogy, just a Stalogy. This was more like my bullet journal attempt. A big old Filofax. And then I tried, this is a Hobonichi cover, which I am going to sell. But I did get the Sterling ink daily planner. This really didn't work in the slightest. But again, I enjoy planners, so there's nothing wrong about having planners. What else have I got in here? Giglio. and then a little pocket file of facts. So yeah, there's just loads and loads of things, and there is guilt associated with not using all these things. How many planners does one girl need? But it's not for me about not being happy with my system anymore. I enjoy being creative and having different planners to jump into and trying new things in it. I enjoy that creative part of it, but my system stays the same now, and that's the important thing. It's finding what works. So I'm not using any of those at the minute, so I'll just give you a rundown of what I am using. So this is just a moleskin. So this is my kind of journal notebook type thing. This is the Cloth and Paper Commonplace Notebook, and this is basically an undated, I don't know that you can see it, schedule, and then big blank page. So this, I really like this because there's no guilt, no shame of not filling in page after page after page, because it started getting me down in that sterling ink one when there's just pages that I don't use, but I don't need to write things down every day. And that's something that through my Planology type and knowing what I need and what I don't need a daily page. This was also a revelation. This was in my master's. So I am a pen and paper girl, but I have that much research to look at, that many journals, but I also need to write on them. So with Remarkable, I can put all my PDFs in here and write on them. So this, again, was a major breakthrough in my planning system because it allowed me to be digital, but kind of analog at the same time, which matches my learning style. That's why it works. I also have separate notebooks for separate things in my life. Bullet journal did not work for me in the slightest because I had too much going on. So I was losing myself and what I was doing in the bullet journal system. Even though you have the index, I need things in one place. So again, through the experimentation and trying, I figured out what my system is. So this one is just my PhD notebook. So this is where I write ideas, everything, plans, all go in there. This was the first time from Cloth and Paper again. That's an American subscription box. And this is what I mean. I love the creative side of planning, and Cloth and Paper allows me to try new things, because your system will always continue to, what's the word I'm looking for? Grow and develop, because we don't stay the same as a person. We constantly change. So your planning system will update itself. But Cloth and Paper gave me that space to be more creative. So I really enjoy this. This is just a grid notebook. And this has been good for my mind mapping and figuring stuff out. This isn't for anything in particular. Just when I need to think. So this is kind of like my thinking space. I've really enjoyed this one as well from Cloth and Paper. This is a vegan folio. And I've just got paperwork in there. But it's just rings. And this is where my system thrives. So I have my schedule in here. But I know I only need a monthly overlay. Spread even. I do have a yearly big pull out because for my PhD that gives me oversight of what I need to do when. But I don't have any dailies in that folio at all because I don't need a daily. I have brain dumps because that is what I need, and then I have prioritization methods. I have lists. That's kind of my brain in that one. And then Cloth and Paper did just do this November sub box, and we got this spiral planner for 2026. Now I'll show you why I really enjoy this. So this gives you a breakdown of per month. You've got your goals, main tasks, things like that, but this is this is the bread and butter of my planning system. And this is what I realised that I need more than anything. So that is just a blank monthly spread. That is all I need for my month. Literally. So all these planning systems that I've tried and everybody's saying, oh, you need dailies, you need weeklies. No, I don't need that, because I know from my planner type, my psychology, what balances me, what stresses me, what challenges me, what just pushes me over the edge, what keeps me from being overwhelmed. This is me. And then what this planner does, and I probably won't use this that much, but it would be good for just random little things that I need throughout the day. It's just a small weekly spread, similar to like a Hobonichi, but bigger. And then on this side you have more. And I do like making little scratch notes throughout the day. I have all these little notes. So that would be good to actually put them in here on the week that they refer to. And yeah, so that is going to be my actual system for what I need to do. And I'm quite looking forward to doing that. So I've kind of dialed everything back because that is my planner type. So I hope that explains what this Planology is about. And it's about bringing coaching psychology to meet with planners, because as a planner you probably are more self-aware than most people are. You've got that knowledge about yourself. You enjoy looking more into your psychology. You enjoy maybe journaling, but then it brings more of the psychology into it. So understanding more about you, your why, your vision, where you want to go, what are your character strengths, looking at all that good stuff that coaching psychology looks at. I use a lot of positive psychology as well. Gratitude, not gratitude journaling, because research shows that you shouldn't do that all the time. You should do it in short bursts. But a lot of the things that we do as planners, they are based in positive psychology as well. So this is actually bringing them both together into a package. And I really urge you to try it out. I've developed a free quiz and it only takes about a minute to do. So I will put the link down below in my YouTube comments, and just click on it and tell me what your planner type is, and tell me, are you the planner that you thought you were? If that is right, then that's great. It's a really good starting point for us. But are you not where you thought you were? Do you do what it says that you should do? It'd be interesting to see what you think. And what do you think about everything that I've just gone through there? Does some of that resonate with you? Overwhelm was a massive thing. And one of the things that made me think about Planology was, so I work a full-time job. I have my own business called LB Coaching Consultancy. I do a PhD. I did a master's full-time a couple of years ago, as well as doing my full-time job. So I had a lot on my plate, and people used to say to me, how do you manage to get everything done? And I read books. I set a goal for myself last year. I think it was 30 books to read in the year. And I read more than 30 books. And I knit stuff. So people were saying, how do you do everything? How do you get everything done? How do you keep on top of everything? And it's down to my system, because I know what I need. I know how to plan. I know me. And my system supports me. It doesn't stress me out. It doesn't give me planner fatigue. I don't have to planner hop all the time, only if I want to. If I want that creative time to do something different, then I will do it. I have loads of stickers there that I just love to put in there, just to, you know what I mean. You're a planner. So I don't have any of the guilt that I used to have about notebooks and perfectionism. Perfectionism is not a bit of me. I use this one as well. This is a cloth and paper. spiral. I'm enjoying the spirals at the minute. But a lot of people are saying like they don't like to write in notebooks, and that used to be me. But I've totally changed my opinion on and the way that I use my planners now. It's like, what am I waiting for? I could die tomorrow. I could be run over by a bus. Just use the bloody thing. And nothing's neat. These are literally just notes that my writing's not particularly neat. It doesn't need to be. I don't care. And that took a while to be able to change that way that I thought about me and my planning system. So that's something that we'll work on as well. So yeah, I can't tell you everything that's coming right now because I'm still in the planning phase of it. But something big is coming. Something big is coming, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be, I'll tell you a little bit. It's a membership, but it's based in coaching psychology. And one of the things that really irks me about coaches, and I use the term lightly, is that they charge a bloody fortune and nobody can afford them. You know, some people, I know one coach charges £1,000 an hour. No. And I don't agree that coaching should only be for the rich or those that are already earning a lot of money. I believe that coaching should be for everybody. So I am going to be bringing group coaching to the membership as well. So, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So this is going to be very exciting, very different, and I would love you to come on the path with me. So I'm literally setting all this up. So I've got my freebie quiz, and I've got a waiting list, and I'm going to be sending newsletters out with all the information that's going to be coming. So sign up to my newsletter as well. I will put another link for you to join there. And I'm hoping that I will be able to do a big reveal within the next month. I want to get Christmas out of the way, and that's probably when I'm going to be doing a lot of the planning. So I'm looking at early January to be giving you some more information. And I'll be doing some YouTube stuff, some Instagram. That's where you can find me most of the time, on Instagram. I've got a Facebook group as well that you can join. Come and talk to me about your planner typing there, because that little community is going to be lovely, and community is massively important, and that's why we're going to be doing group coaching, because it's the social aspect. That's the magic of coaching in groups. I am qualified to do that as well, so you can be more than confident in my qualifications, my accreditations, my ethical work. I pride myself on that, and that's why I'm different to any other coach. I'm not a life coach. Nope. So yeah, you're in really good safe hands. 15 years of working with people with severe mental health as well. So come and work with me. Come and investigate your Planology type and set yourself on the path for the new year. With my LB coaching consultancy as well, I am offering another freebie, which is called the Advent of Possibility. And if you're interested in understanding more about what coaching psychology and positive psychology is, it's an advent calendar. So from the 1st of December, there will be a daily email going out with loads of goodies for you to try and get ready for that, because I know that you're a planner. So the new year's important for us. So this is a month from the 1st of December, getting all these steps in place for the new year. And then that will tie in with the Planology community that's going to be launching. So sign up to that. I'll leave that in the blurb down below as well, so that you can get that, and that will give you a good introduction to where we're going to be heading. So any questions, let me know. Any comments, let me know. Tell me what your struggles are. Tell me what you enjoy about planning. Tell me what frustrates you about planning. Because this is a journey for all of us, and the community is going to learn from each other as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and have a really good weekend. It's very rainy here, so that's an excuse to just sit down and do some planning and research. Have a really good weekend, and thanks for your time, and I'll speak soon.